Hey, Shed here with Speed Addicts, the fastest growing gear site on the web, and today we're going to uncrate the fully updated Alpinestars Tech 7. What's up, Speed Addicts fan? Before we get into perhaps the world's greatest motocross boot, the new edition of the Tech 7, before we do that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's going to keep you up to date on the latest gear coming into the industry. You're going to be educated, making excellent buying decisions over at speedaddicts.com. There's a link in the description. They'll take you over to the full selection of Alpinestars products, including the all-new Tech 7. And when you shop with Speed Addicts, that's what keeps the lights on around here. So we definitely appreciate your business. And remember, when you're shopping for gear, we have free returns. If you're in the lower 48 states, you're gonna get a free return label. You have 90 days to return any gear that's new in the original packaging. Okay, so what's up with the new Tech 7? Well, it looks great. For starters, here's my old faithfuls. This is my last edition of the Tech 7s, and they've updated it. The TPU sections are flashier, shinier. There's added protection, new buckles. Essentially what they've done is they've stolen some of the tech out of the next level up, their top flight Tech 10 boot, and graduated it down to the little brother to Tech 7. Now I say little brother, but really most folks who are not pros are wearing the Tech 7, myself included, and even some of the pros prefer the less stiff Tech 7 over the ultra hard Tech 10, which is kind of the ultimate in protection for motocross, supercross racing, okay? But most recreational riders, enduro riders, really love the Tech 7, myself included. I've been in a long time. So if you're Alpinestars, what do you do if you're updating your most popular product in the motocross industry you've ever made? You do it carefully. You don't totally throw the whole blueprint out, okay? So they're gonna make some slight updates. They say it's a ground up redesign, but really what I noticed riding this is that it feels a lot like this. There's some added protections and some new features that are nice over the lifetime of owning the boot, but it's not a huge difference. And the first thing I'll start out with is the price is not different at all. So they're staying at that $440 price range, which is great. So they're updating it, but they're not increasing the price. Now, that said, Alpinestars has cranked their prices a fair bit over the last few years. Who hasn't, right, with inflation? But just calling that out. So you're going to pay the same price. In terms of the fit, 5 through 16, no half sizes. The fit is the same. So if you've been wearing Tech 7s for a long time like I have, don't expect the fit to change. If you're new to the Tech 7 platform, I can get this filthy thing out of the way. If you're new to the Tech 7 platform, what do you need to know? Well, Alpinestars off-road boots run big. So you are gonna order down if you're in between sizes. So if you're 10.5, order the 10, you should be spot on. If you are a 10, well then you should probably just order that 10 and make it up with sock or insole. If you go all the way down to the 9, it's probably gonna be too tight for you. The width is, so again, if you're in between sizes, round down. If you're on the mark, you know, a straight 10, then order the 10 or the 11. And the insoles are removable, so you can go with a slightly thicker insole or a slightly thicker sock. It's crazy how much difference just a different thickness of sock can make. Again, no half sizes. And why no half sizes? Well, boots, when it comes to all these moldings here, I don't know how many molds they have for a boot like this, but it is a ton per size, and the cost is extreme. So most boot manufacturers, off-road boot manufacturers, are not going to offer half sizes. That's pretty common. In terms of the width, I have a fairly wide foot, and I find the width to be great. So they're a little bit on the wide side. They're great for most American feet is what we've found, so width shouldn't be an issue. And again, if you follow my instructions in terms of how they run just a little big and order accordingly, you should be in great shape. If you don't and you buy it at Speed Addicts, you got the free returns. So we got you covered. Again, sizes 5 through 16. And the reason I like this boot is because while it offers a lot of protection, it's still relatively flexible and not much break-in needed. You know, a lot of times people get into uncomfortable motocross boots and go, oh man, once you get 6 months in those, they'll be okay. You're just gonna have to suffer until then. Not really the case with the Alpinestars Tech 7. Another thing I like about the Tech 7 versus that Tech 10 is the Tech 10 has an interior booty, so it's like a whole separate piece. It's very stiff. A lot of people just think If they got the cash, they should buy the Tech 10s. That's probably not the case for most of you folks out there. So feel free to come into the new SpeedX Superstore if you're in SoCal and check out the new Tech 7s in person. And we actually still have a few of the old version. If you're on the website and you see previous edition of the Tech 7s, we're still blowing a few of those out. The other thing I'll call out is that at the moment, the only Tech 7s available are the standard edition motocross sole. They don't have the Dry Stars yet, and they don't have the Enduro sole. The one on my right hand is my boot with the Enduro sole, and that's just more of a waffle sole as opposed to the more motocross smoother sole. Let's show you what has changed here. We'll bring this big dog up. The construction, still that synthetic leather microfiber construction, no changes there. They repel water decently. The ones I have for enduro trail riding are not the Dry Stars, and they still keep you relatively dry for most like basic water crossings or a little bit of rain. But if you're gonna be hitting a lot of water or riding in weather, definitely get the Dry Star version, and I imagine the new Dry Star versions of the Tech 7 will be coming soon. Okay, otherwise, we have the standard array of TPU, which is the harder plastic sections, and then the TPR, which are the stickier rubber sections usually found on the medial side to help you grab that bike. So we have that kind of same array here. We got the big beefy shim protector. They've added foam in the flex zone here to add a little bit of extra padding, puncture protection, that sort of thing. We still have the 4-buckle system. Of course, they're not gonna change that. That works great, why mess with it? But they did give you the upgraded and shinier, shiny's always good, Tech 10 buckle system, which should stand up to a bit more abuse, but to be honest, I've beaten these up pretty good and actually haven't had anything fail over several years on my old Tech 7s. But everything is replaceable, that is nice. So the buckles, both sides of the buckle equation, the receiver and the shank, this is all replaceable stuff. So when you're gonna invest almost $500 after tax in a set of boots, it's nice to know that when you go and beat them up, you will be able to replace everything. So the TPU section, redesign, new molds, sexier looking TPU up at the top. Now, when we get down to the bottom, the toe box, they made the boot flatter on the bottom so you get better platform on those pegs. You notice the rocker in my old one is a little bit more extreme, and the side to side is a little bit different. So they're trying to plant you on the pegs a little bit more. That is one thing that if you are a more advanced rider, you will notice out of the box. Down on the toe, we have kind of the standard shifter platform or protector here. This one's more gnarled. It's kind of pointy almost, whereas this old one was just kind of a standard dot. So this looks a little fancier on the top. They probably perform about the same. You have this nice suede insert down here at the bottom. Right now, top sellers is the black and white. You see one of those behind me, followed by the red, followed by the black. So go figure, people love to take white boots out into the dirt. I don't judge. Okay, as we move around the back, things are changing a little bit. The first thing you're gonna notice is that now we have an Achilles protector in that TPU all the way around the back. The other flex zones are pretty much unchanged. You also have the hyperextended protection up at the top. It's still that shank design, just a little bit different mold. Again, a little fancier, a little blingier, and updated there. When we go to the ankle protection, which is what makes this different from a lot of less expensive boots, is the stiffness around the ankle. Especially if both wheels are leaving the ground, you want that stiffness in the ankle because that's where a lot of the motocross injuries happen. So we have now a pivot mechanism instead of this less expensive or more basic blade system. So you are stepping up in the protection department. Again, remember, when they're on your feet, like I said, you don't notice that huge of a difference. But when you're in a pinch and you need that protection, that is something that's going to show up, as well as that Achilles protection here on the back. Okay, let's flip it around and look at the medial side. So what you'll notice on the old Tech 7 is that they had this big border of that harder TPU. That doesn't do you any good when you're trying to grip the bike. They have these smaller TPR rubber inserts. What they've done is gone with a whole piece of TPR. Again, that's the rubber instead of the urethane that's harder. And this is going to make better adhesion, better grip to the side of the bike, hold on with both feet. and down into the ankle. The goal on a motocross boot is to make it nice and flat on the inside. You don't want buckles or zippers or anything in the way that's going to mess up your contact patch with the machine. Be one with the machine. That is the name of the game. You also notice that sweeping section on the bottom of the sole. The sole is redesigned. That's another big point that we're going to get into in a second. A big sweep, which is going to allow you to get more grip too, instead of this lower kind of arch section. Again, you'll notice this new Tech 7 is sitting a lot flatter on the table here. Let's check out the sole. What they've done is they've taken the sole design or tread pattern from the Tech 10, they brought it down into the Tech 7. They also have this little red patch winking at you. This sole is replaceable by an Alpinestars approved sole replacer facility. I've seen people take it on themselves. If you dare, you can buy the soles and do it in the garage if you feel like you're up to the challenge. Now that little red part is a wear indicator. Once the sole gets worn down, you will see a red patch here, a red layer that shows up. That means the boots need to be serviced. Otherwise, you risk getting into the part of the sole that is not replaceable. And once you do that, the boots are toast. So pay attention to that wear indicator. But in any case, the sole is updated. The tread pattern is different than the old kind of slatted design. It looks good, it grips good, and it is fully replaceable. Alpinestars always does the 1-year warranty. With off-road apparel, that's kind of the standard, so they got your back. And like I said, pretty much everything on this sucker is replaceable. So if you loved your old Tech 7s, I know a ton of you have them out there already. If you loved your old Tech 7s, you're going to love these. They're going to fit the same, they're going to perform a little bit better, and they look damn good. Check them out at speedaddicts.com. Remember, 90-day return policy, or just come down to the Speed Addicts Superstore where we have the full selection of the brand new Tech 7s on display. We'll see you next time to find out what's in the crate.